Give you my thoughts about the wall. The wall is not inherently a bad idea. It's not inherently a good idea. I'm not inherently against the wall. I'm not inherently for walls. I don't want to just, let's put up a bunch of walls. You know what? Let's just put up a whole bunch of walls. Let's just put walls here, walls there, walls everywhere. No, but I'm also not just against the wall either, right? This walls keep out the elements. Walls help organize. Property lines help understand, this is my land. I get to do what I want on my land. You get to do what you want on your land. It's actually the very basis of capitalism. So, you know, love it or, you know, not love it or leave it, but that's the basis of capitalism. So to assume that borders are not important, or to think that a wall is somehow, you know, there are more pressing needs, there are greater priorities. I agree with that. Donald Trump's an asshole. We should not give him his signature piece of legislation. I applaud the Democrats for not giving him his money for this fucking thing, because a lot of it is he's fanning the flames of racism. But, you know, by itself, I'm not against the wall. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. In a way, I'm against Donald, and I don't want him to get his signature piece of legislation passed. But he's shutting the government down in order to get what he wants. He's going to get, these are Republicans. They're Republican House, Republican Senate. It's kind of crazy that he doesn't get his money for his wall like he wants anyways from these Republicans. The $5 billion is what he wants for Mexican wall, $5 billion. Well, he's pledged to give $6 billion for a Mexico immigration update for Honduras and El Salvador and Guatemala. So Obrador says he needs $30 billion, but we're going to give $6 billion to help out, you know, their immigration systems, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, which is where Jacqueline, baby Jacqueline, 7-year-old Jacqueline, R.I.P. Jacqueline, is from. Actually, ever since Jacqueline died, that's when he pledged to give $6 billion to Guatemala. So Jacqueline's death seems to be changing a lot of things. Because this 7-year-old, is that why we got out of Syria? Because of this 7-year-old, is that why we are giving all this money to Guatemala? Because of Jacqueline's death? Is it the FBI's relaxing the sponsors' background? They're not just checking the sponsors, they're checking everybody in the house to make sure that they're not illegal. And they've actually caught some people inside the house because they reported their name, and it turns out that I guess they're trying to, the migrant children, someone's applying for it, but it's like they know each other or some shit. So, but instead of doing that, just the sponsor is going to get a background check, not the entire household. So he's relaxed requirements for migrant children recently. So a lot of changes, a lot of things are going on, a lot of interesting things that are happening. They went ahead and pushed that criminal justice reform bill on through, so it's Christmas time, right? All those Democrats just won, so Trump is on the ropes. He's got to do something. He's got this make or break time. Is he going to have, you know, is he going to limp the next 2 years? Is he going to be limping, or is he going to, you know, eventually actually start to go progressive? The end of the Syrian war is a fantastic thing. So, okay, anyways, I don't like Trump. He's only right about 5%. I don't relate to him. His dad only gave him $1 million loan. He thinks we need an ID to go buy Cheerios, so that means he doesn't even know how to go shopping at a grocery store. So Donald Trump don't know how to buy, you know, mac and cheese at the local, you know, IGA or Loaf and Jug or Dollar General. We need an ID? We don't need an ID. Donald, we don't need an ID for most things unless you're going to buy alcohol and cigarettes. So you don't need an ID. Anyways, $5 billion for the wall. So what do I think about the wall? I told you some thoughts about it. I just feel like when it comes to the conservatives and liberals, it just seems like they're too myopic. The liberals don't want to be racist, and the conservatives are being too racist. So it's like, just, you know, meet in the middle. We do need a wall. We don't need to, you know, hurt all the kids. If anything, let all the kids in. All the kids can come into America if they're seeking asylum. A little child walk in. If you saw a child walk up on your property, you would what? Deport them? You would what? Put them in a pen? You would, what are you telling me you're trying to say? So the kids, get them adopted. Hurry up. There's people out there that want to adopt them. Then they're in here. Nobody knows who they are. What else can you do? So either you want the state to take care of them. I think the adoption thing is a good thing with the kids. If they're criminals, fuck them up. We don't want the criminals here. I'm just going to keep talking until it shuts off. So Hillary Clinton wanted a wall, so we would have got a wall with Hillary. Obama was the deporter-in-chief, so they had Republican immigration policies. And, you know, people just don't give a damn. They don't give a shit. So, again, I'm not inherently pro-wall or anti-wall. Walls help houses organize. Walls and fences organizes neighborhoods. I don't care for the Israel-Palestine wall. I love that the Berlin Wall was torn down. Both socialist and capitalist Germany became one nation. A Mexican wall is racist. The 9/11 terrorists got through the Canadian border, so we should have a consistent border policy, either walls all around the U.S. on Canada and the Mexico border, or none. A Mexico wall only and no Canadian wall. That sets up like a Palestinian-Israeli situation. It sets up like the reservations kind of situation, right? Just put them over there. This is our land. That's your land. You're over there. We'll take the rest. We're the powerful, wealthy white man. Put walls around, you know, around them, but they are not us. We are not them. Anyways, I wonder if we gave nations the option to join the U.S., if they would want to be one of our states. If Iraq or Puerto Rico wanted to become a country, why don't we let Puerto Rico in? God, let's get, you know, 100 different nations. I think that's a good idea. Liberals, I think, sound so stupid when they talk about the border because they're acting like the way the Republicans are painting up the liberals is that they're lawless and they love MS-13, and it does sound like that. And so liberals, you are actually fucking over the native, you know, brown people, the brown, Hispanic, Chicano Americans that are here and lawful, and they're being terrorized by the illegal MS-13. So to not criticize somebody, right, it's not skin color, just don't be a fucking murderer, don't be a rapist, don't go around stealing, right, don't go around terrorizing people. So that's exactly where you should be on that. So don't let criminals come in. We need to, you know, sort people out. So sometimes we have to have compassion, other times less so. But let's just sort them out. Let's have common sense immigration, right? So we've got to protect the borders. Let's have common sense immigration. Let's not lose our humanity. Fuck MS-13. Fuck the cartels. So we also could do something with the war on drugs. We're kind of fueling a lot of this bullshit coming from, if we, you know, you want to stop the migrant crisis, stop the war on drugs. The war on drugs is fucking, you know, Central America up. We are buying all their drugs, and we're also putting a bunch of cops on their street telling them not to do drugs. So we have a very hypocritical policy with our southern neighbor. So ultimately, I think that this is a Donald Trump thing, so I would say fuck the wall because fuck Donald Trump. I don't want him to get anything. I don't want him to get be able to brag about anything, but it's kind of just an obvious thing, so it's not like there's schematics to it. There's like a bunch of like hills and there's, you know, rivers and shit, so part of it, you can't build a wall on the whole goddamn thing, but, you know, having borders, having a comprehensive common sense immigration policy, I think is a great idea. I think it's, you know, a common sense idea. Of course we should have borders. We got 50 nifty United States, and we got to protect these 50 nifty United States and our 5 colonies and all of our military bases, 900 military bases. We got to protect them too. So the reason why I say fuck Donald is because the Republicans fucked over Obamacare. And really, Obamacare had its fucking problems, but being the Republican obstructionists, they were able to basically, they got Donald Trump elected because they put enough doubt and shade on Obama that they, you know, were able to put enough doubt on his entire administration. Now we got this asshole that's going to undo Obama's signature fucking piece to his entire administration. So we're not going to go Obama's way, we're going to go Donald's way. That's not the direction either. So because of what they did with Obamacare, Obamacare is Mitt Romney care. Obama is, you know, Nixon's plan, Ford's plan, Heritage Foundation, Bob Dole's plan. This is a right-wing. We're forced to buy private insurance. Democrats want free single-payer, one government, Medicare, Medicaid for all, free universal health care for everybody. That's essentially what their public option, that's what their position platform ought to be if they're honest with themselves. But we were mandated to buy private insurance. That's Republican. That's a right-wing Republican thing. So you got to, you know, respect the free market. So we're forced to buy private insurance. So that was a nice little giveaway to the, but that was his signature thing. So this border wall is going to be Trump's signature thing. So as much as we need a wall to help our border, I wouldn't mind tearing that same wall down, too, in order to say, you know what, Mexico, we're all one people. This is all one America's anyways. Why don't South America, North America, why don't we all just join in one big fucking happy America family, right? I want 100 states anyway, so how much is South America? There's another 15 or so. So come on, Central America, South America, I'm ready. I'll vote you in. I'll vote for y'all to be my, American neighbor states to the south, and y'all could drive up here. We could drive down there. It'd just be one big freedom of movement, right? Just drive wherever the fuck we want to drive. We're all Americans around here, so, I'm not opposed to walls. I'm not opposed to boundaries, and, it'd be fun to be able to drive all the way to Bolivia. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I don't know if it'd be easy as just driving to Bolivia. Bolivia, they've already kicked our military out. So I don't know why the South Americans aren't running up here, but it seems like our Central Americans, they're in, dire straits. And I don't know if it's because of us. We control the policies right there in our front yard, or what the hell is going on. But South Americans aren't flooded. It doesn't seem like they're running up, crossing our shores as much as, the Nicaraguans and Hondurans and a lot of Central Americans are. So, yeah, I like that I'm allowed to drive in between the American states. I wish we could drive between the continents. I'm for one love, right? I believe in oneness, and, I don't know, peace. Can't we all just love each other?